So, what's your superhero origin? How'd you get here, man? Where'd you come from, and how'd you get to this place?
Yeah. Uh, my expertise was in the creation of billboards, and
Okay.
I mean, I've never met another guy that kind of would do what I would do. So basically, I would be the guy that would go in and pick where a billboard would be installed. So like when you drive down the highway, you see these different billboards there. That's what I would do. So I would research the traffic counts, and then I would figure out, okay, this would be a good spot for a billboard. And then I'd go to all the cities and figure out the rules and the zoning. And now I'd be like, okay, here's a road with a lot of traffic. Here's the rules. And then I would figure out who the landowners were for these billboards. I would
Okay.
go in and negotiate land leases. And then we'd come in on, like, say, a Friday night with semis and put up 3 or 4 billboards. So when people would go to work on a Monday morning, there would be 3 or 4 brand new billboards there. And during the construction process of these billboards, I had salesmen selling the advertising. So these billboards would go up, they'd be filled with ads. What would happen once those billboards went up, they were filled with ads, they were sold to investors or other billboard companies.
Okay.
And they would just, slap their name on it. So
Right.
basically, my expertise is in development, but on the billboard side.
Okay.
And as I'm doing that, my buddies were doing houses, flipping houses. So a
Yeah.
couple of my buddies each flipped 100 houses while I was flipping. So I was flipping billboards,
Right.
they're flipping houses, but then COVID hit.
Okay.
But I adventured into creating a sign company too that also did big development signs.
Okay.
So for like a big strip center or awnings. So that way, I didn't have to travel. I could stay in one spot and supply an entire strip center with all the signs. Um, so basically, COVID hit. The government said, hey, everybody needs to stay home. No restaurants, no gyms, no bars. Most of my clientele couldn't open. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I'm like, my buddies were flipping houses. I could do the same thing, but instead of flipping 100 in their career, I was going to try to figure out how to flip 100 houses a year. So I started studying people like Max Maxwell and Brandon Turner, and just digging into all these podcasts, trying to figure out how these guys were flipping so many houses because I couldn't leave my house, I couldn't do anything.